Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison knows his reputation is on the line after executing the most stunning trade in NBA history. Hello, everyone. I'm Newy Scruggs, and welcome to Big Game Sunday, where we always tell it like it is. The Mavericks finalized the deal this morning that sent Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris to the Lakers. Dallas is getting Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round draft pick in 2029. Super Bowl 59 featured 3 players from the University of Texas at Austin. It's another achievement for an athletic program that's enjoyed massive success under the leadership of Chris Del Conte. I've always wanted to tell his story. It's truly the American dream played out. Here's our interview that you will only see on NBC5.
From here to this chair makes 0 sense.
Where were you born?
Cuernavaca, Mexico. Father was working in seminary there and working in a massive orphanage in Mexico, and that's where my parents fell in love and had me, and came up with about 15 people through the border and started something in Taos, New Mexico. It's pretty crazy. House parents, all the young kids, we have horses, we have cows in the picture, it's comedy. But this is the barn.
And where's young Chris Del Conte?
I'm sitting right here. And they decided that serving underneath underprivileged youth was going to be their mission. And I was born into a children's home, and they decided this is what they're going to do in the United States, and I knew any different.
CNBC Sport ranks Texas as the second most valuable college sports program in America. The man running arguably the biggest brand in intercollegiate athletics since 2017 is always dressed to impress. It's not an accident. It's a lesson Chris Del Conte got from his father at a New Mexico children's home. Did the style you have today, was it influenced by how you grew up at all?
Oh, for sure. My father did everything he could to make sure that we had an outfit, because he would always say, this is the first thing they're going to see about you. Make sure your hair's combed. Brush your teeth. How you look is really important. That's a legacy that I hold true. So how I dress is partly, I'm going to Zoom call today and everyone's not wearing a tie but me. I'm like, text someone, is a tie lost art? But who you represent, I represent something more myself. I represent the University of Texas. I represent my parents, my daughters. So how you dress is, to me, important. Expensive, but important.
That sharp-dressed man is a smooth and shrewd operator when it comes to attracting the best coaching talent to the 48. Del Conte boldly snatched his former TCU baseball coach, Jim Schlossnagle, away from rival Texas A&M just one day after the Aggies lost in the 2024 College World Series final. Our guy Schloss, you got him.
With Jim, everyone thinks this thing was baked. There was nothing baked. He was trying to win a national championship. But I made a change, and I said, Jim, I'm going to come see you. You're going to tell me no to my face. You're going to tell me no. Because in any coaching search, you have a wish list, or one you can get. You never want to go to the old poop list. I know him. I know him. I know what he can do. You're going to tell me no to my face, and then we're going to go to who I can get. And, you know, I would kill it in this era in dating, because everyone just slides into people's DMs. What, you know, I mean, no one goes out, brings flowers, asks them, let's go to dinner. I mean, I would kill it in this era. No one has no game nowadays. You know, I tell my daughter, someone goes, she swiped, she goes, you up? I go, you don't even answer that. Are you up? What kind of crap is that? You know, so I look at it, he's going to tell me no, and I knew if I got in front of him, couldn't tell me no. Been to Omaha 38 times. Won 6 national championships. It is the beacon of college baseball. And he did a yeoman's job at A&M. But I knew this was where he wanted to be. He could have said no. Right? Could have said no. But he didn't.
Did you bring your swim coach flowers when you were recruiting from Arizona State? How'd that go?
It's completely different because, again, we've won 15 national championships, and now you're replacing Eddie Reese, who is the godfather of swimming. And when you're replacing someone like that, the shadow's so big. And we looked around and I said, man, okay, Bob Bowman. Took a program that was dropped at Arizona on the verge of winning a national championship, coached arguably the greatest swimmer in the world, just coached the second greatest swimmer to France to all these Olympic gold medals. Called one Friday night. Bob, I know you're going to play. I found his number, called him on the phone. I'm going to FaceTime you. FaceTimed him. Said, hey, got a job. He goes, yep, I'm going to win a national championship, but I want that job. Said, okay, I'm going to send you a DocuSign. We'll see, because I'll see you on Monday. Let me go win it. That's the power of Texas.
Longhorn football is the main program that fuels the $271 million in revenues at Texas. In their first year in the SEC, Texas played in the conference championship game, only to lose to Georgia in overtime. That earned head coach Steve Sarkisian his second straight trip to the college football playoff.
Take me back to hiring Sark.
I remember the criticism that we were getting when we hired him. We went 5-7 that year, and Steve had a complete plan of what it was going to be. Here's our recruiting, here's how we're going to attack it, here's our staff. And everything he said and done has come to fruition.
The kids from the place Del Conte calls the ranch have always come to visit him at football games wherever he's been an administrator. He hosted some at this year's Cotton Bowl game. From bunk beds as children to adults, it's a bond he cherishes.
For them to be a part of it is pretty cool. They come to my games at home, they come to games at TCU when I was there. It's pretty cool. It's actually special.
You're emotional.
Yeah, because I think, I lost my father. He lost his life, a tragic situation, and he didn't get to see this either. So having them see it kind of helps me.
So it just, everything comes full circle. My little daughter just painted my picture of my dad. That was his saying, I'm here for you.
In October of 2000, after seeing Chris at a college football game, his father, Robert Del Conte, stopped to help a motorist in a broken-down vehicle. He was robbed and murdered.
Life and death are part of our journey. I just don't think the nature of how he passed just was mind-boggling to me. I get weepy all the time. Just because it's not, I think he would have loved meeting my daughters.
It was his vision to build the Texas Athletics Hall of Fame in 2019. It honors its national champions, conference champions, Heisman winners, and Olympians. Chris Del Conte was not scared to leave the comfort he built in Fort Worth at TCU to go down I-35 to work at Texas.
I've been at TCU 9 years. I want to try it. And if I fail, I fail, but if I don't, but I want to see if what I believe in works. And if you can harness Texas and what it is to its best version of themselves, then you have, it's awesome.
The Longhorns have won the Learfield Directors' Cup 3 of the last 4 years, and it's awarded to the nation's top college sports program. By the way, 4th-ranked Texas women's basketball team went on the road, and they beat 2nd-ranked South Carolina 66-62. The Gamecocks are the defending national champions, and that snapped the Gamecocks' 57-game SEC regular season winning streak. A week ago, the feeling about Mike McCarthy coming back to the Cowboys in 2025 was picking up momentum. Dallas beat the first-place Tampa Bay Bucks at home on NBC5 Sunday Night Football. But today's 41-7 beatdown in Philly has to make you wonder what owner Jerry Jones will do. Can you excite the fan base by bringing McCarthy back as the head coach next year? Are you ready for another 3 to 4 years of Mike McCarthy? Most of the fan base will tell you no. Now, people I respect, like the voice of the Cowboys, Brad Sham, say if you fire McCarthy, who is 12th all-time in the history of the league in coaching wins, who do you replace him with? Now, I'll counter with this. Ask the GM, and that's Jerry Jones. Chris Brown sings in his song, Say Goodbye. How do you let it go when you just don't know what's on the other side of the door when you're walking out? Now, once upon a time, he had the audacity to upset the entire Dallas Cowboys fan base and the NFL establishment by firing the legend Tom Landry. That was back in 1989. He hired Jimmy Johnson out of college to coach the club, and the Cowboys became Super Bowl champions 4 years later. Now, I don't know if a current 82-year-old Jerry can still make a daring head coaching decision like 47-year-old Jerry did back in 1989. The line, "scared money don't make money," is in play here. It's Jerry's job to find the answer. Now, other teams have made the move. Philadelphia fired Doug Peterson, who won their only Super Bowl, and replaced him with the untested and unknown Nick Sirianni. Nick's been to the Super Bowl and the playoffs all 4 years he's been in Philly. The Chargers hired Jim Harbaugh in the offseason, and he just coached them to the playoffs. The Lions hired former Cowboys tight end Dan Campbell. He's been successful. And the Rams hired a 34-year-old Sean McVay, and he eventually won LA a Super Bowl. So bold moves can be made. Granted, McCarthy is missing his starting Pro Bowlers from last year: quarterback Dak Prescott, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, guard Zach Martin, defensive end Tank Lawrence, and cornerback Trayvon Diggs. If we're being honest, Jones, the GM, did not put together a good roster of talent. The media said all during training camp that the running back position and the wide receiver core was suspect. As the head coach and play caller, McCarthy had issues and a losing record when he did have Dak Prescott as the starting quarterback before he suffered a season-ending injury this season. Todd Archer of ESPN reminds me all the time, McCarthy was hired to take the Cowboys further in the playoffs than Jason Garrett did. 5 years later, McCarthy still hasn't. And the Hall of Fame owner has given us no clue who will coach his team in 2025. Whatever you do, Jerry, be that 47-year-old Jerry Jones who was bold.